Transforming the world through transformed lives. Whenever I heard that, I always thought that we were to go out in the world and show them what living like a Christian was like. I always saw it as us transforming them. I've just returned from my 4th trip to India, and for me it means something else now. Pastor Chacko, who we work with in India, talks about real believers, non-believers, and make-believers. Real believers are folks who do anything for Christ. They have no doubts. Likewise, non-believers also have no doubts, but do nothing for Christ. Then there are the make-believers. And by make-believers I mean someone who wants to believe, has convinced themselves that they believe, but somewhere back in their mind is a lingering doubt, some unanswered questions. And this is something that they do their best to hide from. Sure, a make-believer comes to church, sings the right song, prays, reads the Bible, does all the stuff you'd expect. And they do their best to convince themselves they truly do believe. But then they see a story on TV about the absurdity of Noah's flood, or an interview with some fallen biblical scholar who's now an atheist, or they struggle with their family's view on same-sex marriage, or Jesus being the only way to God, and that lingering doubt starts to move forward in their minds. They work hard at burying it, go to more Bible studies, listen to more Christian music, stay away from all those non-Christian bad influences, but it's still there. They remember the real stories of miracles that they have experienced, like the pilot who almost lost his eyesight, but is today flying, or the classmate who had stage 4 cancer and is today healed. Surely they remember these miracles for what they are, miracles, and with these memories they are confident in their faith, aren't they? Jesus said that you'll know his followers because they do what he commanded. We've been commanded to go and spread the good news, but how many of us justify this command away? Oh, I would go, but I don't like foreign food. Or I'm too old to travel that far. I might get sick. What if the plane crashes? And it's so expensive. Rational statements? Maybe. But at some point, if we truly are followers of Christ, and we truly believe he is the Lord of all, then we have to give these fears to him and just do what he says. We have to have enough faith in our God to just believe that his will be done. We have to live a life of faith that will actually cause someone to be transformed. But the transformation must start with us. If we are not changed, if we do not live differently than those around us, then are we true believers or make-believers? Many of you know that you have these doubts. Like me, you have tried to live the Christian life, but the doubt was still there. For me, it was because I never really allowed myself to trust the Lord. I never really did anything that would be considered irrational. I took the safe route and hoped that faith would come, but like you, when times get tough or things get complicated, faith slipped away quickly. I never really trusted. The people of India transformed our lives through their lives. They have the faith we so desperately desire. They have it because their poverty does not afford them the luxury of believing in themselves and using their own strength to solve their problems. All they have is the Lord. But in the end, that is all there is. So how do you get rid of these doubts? I decided to trust, and by trusting I went. Not everyone who goes trusts, so they are unchanged. But those who trust and go are changed. There are several mission trips that CBC puts together each year. Find one and go. Trust isn't something you think about doing. It is something you do. Start trusting the Lord today. That will transform your life.